Okay, today's session, before I begin, you will get to see me feed the chicken. You can see chicken. All the chicken are there. They're waiting for me. You know, Mr. Cock is going to come down. See all the chicken. Cook, 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 cook. Cook, 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 cook. So have a look. See. This you don't get to see in Dubai. Really? All chicken. I know. Strange adventures of my life. I don't fight. Okay. Today, I thought I would share a surprising incident that happened yesterday. As you know, I speak to a lot of people looking for jobs or changing their careers or wanting to upscale their business, and so people book my sessions to take advice, and sometimes if they feel okay, this is value, then they book more sessions or they ask for a package price or whatever. So one of these guys who took my service initially, after he took my service, after his story was nothing incredible, but it was worth sharing, he said, "No, Lloyd, don't, please, I request you not to share." Even though I told him I'll not share identity, fine. But subsequently, after we did multiple sessions, and I'm kind of guiding him, he said, "Yeah, you want to share my incident, fine, but not my identity. So as long as you keep the other specific details hidden." I said, "Okay, fine." So the guy is born and raised in Dubai. Okay, he has been there. I think this is the second generation now. He did his schooling in Dubai. He did his degree abroad. He did his, I think, some extra diploma or whatever. But then he decided to take up decided to take up flying. Wanted to be a pilot. So what he did is he enrolled for a pilot training, whatever. They have this training with different types of engines, single, double. I don't know much about it, but obviously they go from small airplane to a slightly bigger one to a slightly bigger one. So he, started to learn all this, and eventually he got himself a job. So he requested not to mention which airline. Okay. Now, what is so shocking about this is the guy has spent only for his pilot training, he spent $500,000 dirhams only for pilot training. We are not talking of accommodation, we are not talking of food, we are not talking of traveling and nothing. We are just talking of only for the number of flying hours. $500,000. Okay, now obviously you'll say that, yeah, Loy, if you want to be a pilot, you have to spend so much money, X number of hours, because without that you can't fly an airplane. Totally understand. But now what is the part that is shocking? I asked him, so obviously you're getting paid this much, so you're paid this much, so you should be getting a good salary. So he asked me, what do you think is my salary? So right off the bat I told him $10,000. So he said, haha, if only. I said, okay, 8 or 7. He said, no. I said, okay, should be 5. He still said no. I said, you're getting less than 5. He said, yes. So I kept quiet and I was like, okay, then what do you get? You get 4? No. 3? No. I said, man, are you pulling my leg? You get less than 3? So yeah, go ahead. I'll tell you when to stop. I was like, what the fuck? So I said, what are you getting? 2,000? He said, no. I said, come on, you're pulling my leg. Finally, it came down to $1,000, 1,000 and something. The guy gets paid to fly an aircraft less than $1,000, around $1,000, not less, around $1,000. I said, what are you fucking talking, man? You're a pilot. A pilot is supposed to be a prestigious fucking, career. I mean, people are like, if you're a pilot, you're something like James Bond. You get all the women, you get all the money, you get. So he's like, no, this is what I get. Later on, while speaking to him, he let me know that because of the pandemic, he flies only few number of times, okay? And that's it. He gets only $1,000 plus. I asked him, how do you survive? How do you sustain? He's saying, yeah, we can do some side hustle at the time. We are given the permission, provided we inform them what that is, and we take explicit permission. I couldn't for life. I asked him, how do you pay your rent? How do you say? He stays with his mother and father. I mean, can you think about it? Let this register in your head. A guy has spent $500,000 to get his pilot license, and now his income is less than what he paid for his, college education, whatever. And, I just calculated if he gets, let's say, 5,000 dirhams a month to clear off $500,000 dirhams, sorry, I don't know if I said dollars, $500,000 dirhams for him to pay that off, it'll take him close to 10 years. What the fuck is this? I just scratched my head. I was like, does this even make sense? In fact, one of the clients who I spoke to in the night, a PhD. You're talking of someone with a PhD, okay? Now, this is not from, you can say India, you can say fake degree, and Pakistan, you can say fake degree, and this is from United States. A person from United States has a PhD from the premier institute. So what is so shocking about it? The person is in her 50s, 50s. And she is still paying her college education. What, did you take up more courses? No, I took a student loan and I'm still paying it. I said, you took a student loan. You completed your PhD somewhere in the 20s. Yeah. And now you're 50s. Yeah. And you're still paying it. I was like, what the fuck is this? I mean, and where do you work? I currently don't have a job. What? I can't for the life of me believe that a person with a PhD from the top university, in the West, without a job, and it's so bloody expensive that you took a loan and you're still paying the interest 30 years after you finished your bloody education. Fuck, you could buy a fucking house and be a business person. I don't understand this. See, I'm a school dropout. Now, please, listen. Before you even jump to conclusions, and I know there are a lot of youngsters who are like cherry picking, oh, fuck this education, I'm not going to study at home. Please don't misinterpret what I'm saying. Education is fucking important, okay? But listen, I know your degree, nobody's going to ask you what is sine theta, cos theta, and the formula of H2O, fine. but education is important. Nobody is going to entertain you if you don't have a degree. Trust me, I wouldn't entertain anyone if they didn't have a degree. Okay? Having a degree gives a person respect, shows stability, shows discipline. So before you even jump to conclusions, but the point of what I'm saying is, I mean, I don't seem to understand what is the point of taking a PhD and being without a job. What is the point of spending $500,000 for a pilot license and not having a job? What the fuck is this, man? What is this? How can you survive? How can you survive? And then, you know, I seriously asked myself, what is the point of having all these expensive fancy degrees if it's not going to help you get a job? You know, please, you know, I'm not of the opinion that you should drop out of school and drop out of college. Absolutely no. That is a big no-no. Like my daughter will study, will complete her education, will finish the fundamentals. No going out, no hanky-panky. But now obviously the question is, okay, then what is the answer? I mean, even if you get a degree, you don't get a job. There are so many freshers who don't have a job. So what is the answer? See, the answer is, along with your education, you need to have experience at the side, okay? But in these cases, I feel it's the involvement of the parent to guide the child into, you know, making the proper selection. See, I've even spoken to parents, very rich parents, who booked my services to tell me that their child wanted to be a rock star. Their child wanted to drop out of, you're talking of top Ivy League schools, to become a YouTuber or to become, you know, online, you know, personality. I do know of a doctor who, you know, went to an Ivy League and now is a YouTuber, okay? And the person has, you will not believe, but the person makes six-figure income through YouTube, even though the person is went to become a doctor. Now, guess what? The person completed the education. The person is a doctor, but the person decided not to pursue being a doctor, instead full-time as a YouTuber. And being a YouTuber, the person makes around roughly 100, you know, six-figure, more than $100,000 a month. So that is a, you know, a rare case. Now, not everyone who jumps into YouTube is going to make that kind of money. So, no, I even spoke to one engineer from Kerala who completed his engineering, but now is wanting to do podcasting and a YouTube channel. Now, do I recommend this? See, there are no guarantees to life, okay? This is the first thing I want you to know. You can take up a course, you can do a degree, you can do an MBA, but then maybe the market doesn't want your services, or maybe, you know, it can go in a recession. However, irrespective of whatever happens, these are certain fundamentals, I believe, okay, if you want my opinion. Number one is, the first most important thing is, you must complete your education, okay? This goes without us saying. You must complete your education. Now, next question is, should I do what I'm passionate about? See, the thing about this passion concept, people believe, oh, I'm passionate. See, you can be passionate about singing, dancing, fighting. I know of a rich guy, very rich guy in Dubai, Indian guy. Imagine, he has done a PhD, but he is a Muay Thai fighter. I told him, boss, you're fucking up your career, huh? You have an Indian passport. Okay, fine, your parents are rich, but you're doing Muay Thai. I told him, someone breaks your fucking knee or your back, you're finished. And then he said, yeah, you're right. I said, what do you mean you're right? Have you had an injury? He said, yeah, both my knees are busted. He's saying, I was bedridden for almost 6 months because his ACL, MCL, whatever, broke off. I was like, ah, shit, his knee, knee area, the joint. So, see, first is complete your education. That is a giving. Second one is, okay, agreed. People want to do what they are passionate about. Okay, you can be passionate about fashion designing. You can be passionate about singing, dancing. But then, keep in mind, sometimes what you want may not be available. Okay? There you need to be practical. So, you need to be practical in the sense that if what you're pursuing doesn't work out, at least you have something to fall back on. See, guaranteed that, let's say, if you do arts or you do a degree in commerce or you do a degree in science, maybe what you end up doing will be totally different. But at least for the initial phase of your life, from the age of 20 to 30 to 35, that degree plays an important role. It's like a ticket to enter an event. Without that, people will say, I'm sorry, you're uneducated, we don't want you. Because that is a minimum qualification. Otherwise, you'll end up not being given an opportunity anywhere. See, between having a degree and searching for a job and not having a degree and searching for a job, the person having a degree is always considered. See, third one is, you must have a natural skill. A natural skill that gives you an unfair advantage over others. In my case, it was talking. I love talking too much. I love attention. That was actually my weakness. Both of them were considered my weakness and a curse. My family used to make fun of me. My friends, teachers used to tell me to shut up. My mother and father used to say, you talk like a girl. So it was kind of a taboo thing, my talking too much. I used to wish that I didn't have the ability to speak. But now, because I didn't give up on this skill, I sharpened it. Today, I make money out of, consulting, talking, training, marketing, selling myself. So this gives an unfair advantage over, let's say, someone who's an introvert. So use your unfair advantage to your, it may be drawing, it may be whatever, but sharpen that skill. Sharpens that skill, develop. See, I'm 43 now. I've been blabbering what? If you actually look at from the age of 16, I've been trying to commercialize this from the age of 16. And sadly, there was no mentor, there was no guide. Had I a mentor, maybe, today I would be a millionaire. So that's a different story. So I can't complain about the past. I can focus on the future. Then the next one is, agreed, life is not predictable. Agreed, whatever you might plan out is no use. But, there is a certain beauty to being dedicated, disciplined, to having the character to complete something. If you don't have that, you'll always do things half the way. So, and last if not the least, I would say, don't be a one-trick pony. Get the guidance, get the mentoring from someone who's street smart, someone who has amazing leadership skills, someone who has practical experience, not fucking theory. See, college professors and teachers just have fucking theory. Napoleon Bonaparte did that, Churchill did this, Mahatma Gandhi fought this war, and H2O and chemical composition, and this is all fucking theory. They're just teachers. Teachers who memorize something and just regurgitate. Yeah. They just puke the fucking thing out, man. Hey, there's nothing. Not saying that they are bad people. I'm not saying teaching is a shameful profession. But that's not business sense. That's not street smart. Yes, we need teachers. But that's not going to help you. But I'll tell you, that's one of the most thankless jobs. I don't know why anyone would want to be a teacher. They give their heart, their soul, their character, everything into this profession that doesn't... Nowadays, students, such assholes. I don't know. Nothing but... they're doing a selfless job of being nice, understanding, kind, patient, with all the nonsense that they have to go through. So you need a mentor who is a businessman, who is who has practical leadership. See, my skills were developed not in school, not in college, all fuck all. Zero, fucking, not even .1. I studied in Sergeant in school, not .1. They taught me nothing. College, I just went to waste time. I didn't even bother. I don't owe them anything. But the real skills I learned was practically working with people under them, like a tradesman, you know, learning the trade. My mentors, by watching them, how they talk, how they speak, how they negotiate, how they do business, that's how I learned, by working under them. You see any world-class chef, you see any world-class painter, you see any world-class singer, tennis player, cricketer, they learned under world-class coaches, mentors. And that's the only way you can grow, man. Otherwise, how the fuck can you grow? So it's not just that degree. It's not just that, oh, follow the passion. Having a world-class coach, mentor, will guide you. And not these internet mentors, oh, you pay me $97, I'll give you this course. This is not these internet marketers. They are fucking scammers. They should be banned. They should be fucking jailed for cheating people. I'm talking of, like, you know, the Olympic coaches, like Mayweather's father, an Olympic coach, a cricketing coach, you know, full-time dedicated into the art of making champions. You study under someone world-class, dedicate 12, 16 hours of your life every single day. Yes, I agree that still there are chances that you may not be successful, but your chances are 1,000 times better than a normal ordinary person, because you have a skill, you have a craft. So yeah, I thought of sharing this experience with you, which absolutely shocked me. Someone who has spent $500,000 on getting a qualification, $500,000, and the salary is fucking hell. What, less than $1,000? What the fuck, yeah? That's crazy, man. Anyway, I was shocked, absolutely shocked. You can let me know if what you think is right or wrong, and maybe if you're interested, I'll come out with a video of some key specific skills which may be of interest to you guys. So if you're interested, let me know, comment down below, and maybe I'll create another video on key skills that can help you. Okay, this is me signing off. You guys take care.